Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The Lloydminster Co-op is standing against bullying with their 2023 Kindness Wins campaign. The campaign is to support acts of kindness and raise money with Beyond Borders' Circle of Change.
Kindness Wins is essentially about encouraging the individuals and community members to show kindness and inclusion and respect. It matters. Your words matter, right? Your words matter in school, your words matter out of school.
Brandy Hoffer, a local artist, designed the merchandise for the campaign, capturing what kindness is all about.
We talked about the Kindness Wins being very prominent this year, and when I sat down and thought about that, how can we give kindness? How can we receive kindness? And it actually came down to loving yourself and treating yourself with love and care. And what does that look like? And I think about it as the foundation and the building blocks to who you are.
Merchandise is available at local co-op locations with a special color of purple this year. A portion of proceeds go to Beyond Borders to help children in local schools. A new grant is available for residents of Cold Lake who are looking for medical travel assistance. Here's Reese Andrews with more on that.
Today, I'm pleased to be joined with the mayor of Cold Lake, who's going to be talking with me a little bit about the grant for medical travel assistance. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
So for the people that might not know, can you start off by telling me a little bit about what this grant is all about?
Well, the grant is here to help people that need assistance. That, we know so many people go to Edmonton for medical services. Unfortunately, up in our area, we don't have all of the services. So we know people have to travel, and with the economy the way it is, so it's a little bit of helping hand, really, for those that need it. And so we're pretty excited. We hope those that need will take us up on the offer. It's got some income testing requirements. You sort of have to have a certain threshold of what your income is, and then the grant is there available for those that can qualify.
So you touched on it a little bit, but are there any other restrictions behind this grant?
Not really. It's all based on sort of an income, and you just apply with the local our city's CKSA office, and they have the application there. But basically, it's $150 to go to each trip over 150 kilometers away from the city, which typically people in Cold Lake have to go to Edmonton for, medical services. And so it's $150 that, basically will go towards, people's expenses, whether it's fuel or hotel stay. And then it's, I think, four times a year they can put in for the 150.
And other than the income portion that you mentioned a little bit about, are there any other requirements for someone to be eligible for this grant?
No, it's City of Cold Lake resident, and it's we've heard from a lot of people that are struggling right now, and this is just another idea to help give people a helping hand, and the staff of the city deserve all the credit. They came up with the idea, and council endorsed it, and we'll see how many people take us up on this grant.
So is this grant in play right now, or is it still in the process of becoming official?
No, yeah, people can go to our FCSS office and get an application form, and there's some rules there, and hopefully people can take us up on the offer that fall. It has different levels of funding according to how many people are in your household. So certainly, if families of 3 or more, that these are the people that we're all trying to help in today's world right now.
So for the application process, do you just have to go down to the office and fill out a form, or is there a few more things that you have to go through before you can be eligible for the grant?
No, you just have to sort of have some documentation from your taxes and that. And just work with the city staff, and they'll walk you through all of the requirements, which isn't very much.
This grant for medical travel assistance is definitely something that I think is needed in many communities. So I'm super happy that Cold Lake is able to offer that to its residents who may be in need or are just struggling a little bit in that area. But thank you so much for joining me again today and talking about this.
All right. Thank you for having me.
For this whole week, École St. Thomas is celebrating French culture through various activities for students to enjoy. The cold temperatures and snowfall only added to this fun celebration. Our Shelby Clark has more in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
Carnival is an exciting week for this local school, especially for a week filled with all sorts of activities and a mascot to hang around with.
This is Bonhomme Carnaval. He is our mascot for our Carnaval that we celebrate every year at the school, and he's also the mascot of the Carnaval de Quebec.
Students and staff have a busy agenda for the week consisting of outdoor activities and delicious treats.
We have La Tire, which is French toffee on snow, and we have the ice castle with pictures. We have big opening ceremonies, closing ceremonies where Bonhomme comes and leaves the Carnaval. We also have Bannock on a Stick with Madame Young happening at our school. We have outdoor games happening throughout the week in our phys ed classes. We also have Studio Encore coming in to teach our younger students some French cultural dancing as well.
Staff are thrilled to have this event back in person rather than holding it virtually. The week is not only celebrating French culture, but is also bringing the community together as well. Students are showing their enjoyment when it comes to Carnival.
Having fun, winter, having La Trail, and the most part of fun of it is all the celebrations.
I really like the activities we do, like the raquette, which is snowshoeing, which is really fun, and kind of just all the activities you do is just like a blast, especially since it's all in French. It makes it even more funner because you're celebrating the French culture.
Kids at St. Thomas are kicking off Carnival in a fun way, including the chance to make bannock with Aboriginal coordinator Cynthia Young. Ella and I even got to enjoy some tea outside with other students.
Everybody say hi, Shelby.
Good night, Shelby.
Hi. Oh my gosh, this is delicious.
This event means like a lot to me because I've been here since kindergarten, and like every year is just so fun to like have a week where you just do stuff fun in French, and like you're like with people that, and like sometimes you get to know people more than you did before because you're with them and you're talking French, and yeah, it's just really fun.
And that's it in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
At Lakeland College, our students go beyond the classroom for immersive, hands-on learning experiences. It's about experiencing the real world, because the real world doesn't wait, and neither do we.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Abby St. John caught up with Big Brothers and Big Sisters about their pizza fundraiser.
I'm happy to be joined here today with Jacqueline Weed with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Now, throughout the year, there are multiple different national days for many different things. And February 9th is National Pizza Day, which I'm sure a lot of people are very excited for. And Big Brothers Big Sisters is taking part in that day. Tell me a little bit about what is happening.
We started this about 4 or 5 years ago. We're looking up national days for things and thought pizza is a great one to get behind because most people love pizza, and the food fundraisers always are easy to do. So February 9th is always National Pizza Day. Again, it varies on the days of the week that it falls on. And so what we're doing is we have 12 local restaurants that are partnering with us. And when you go to that restaurant and order a pizza on February 9th, they will donate $1 from every pizza that they sell to Big Brothers Big Sisters to support our mentoring programs. Super easy.
It sounds amazing. And like you said, very easy to do. You said that Big Brothers Big Sisters has been doing this fundraiser for a couple years now. How has it been in previous years?
Being able to use that money to support the matches that we create and just support the families in general, especially during COVID. We needed a little extra supports here and there. So having it all goes into that supporting the child and supporting the family. So it's just one step in the puzzle, but we're very happy to be able to have the step in the puzzle. So there's 12 restaurants, so we have more than last year. So we're hoping that people will be able to either stop by their favorite restaurant or maybe try a different restaurant or do both, have pizza for lunch and supper, whatever works for your schedule. So on our Facebook page, we have a poster with all of the pizza places, but I'll just list them really quickly. We have Spiro's, Canadian Pizza Unlimited, Little Caesars, Panago, Cheers, Extreme Donair, TJ's, Vern's Pizza, Boston Pizza, Domino's, Pizza 73, and Papa John's. So we have a wide variety there for everybody.
There's a ton of different options for people to choose from, which is amazing to see. And it could also be a great chance to try a new place as well. On the day when someone calls to place an order, do they have to mention Big Brothers Big Sisters, or will it just be an automatic thing?
It'll just be automatically done. And then at the end, we actually will have a prize for the restaurant that sells the most pizza. They'll be our pizza champions. So they're having a little bit of a competition themselves. So
If there's any other restaurants that possibly see this and would like to take part, can they still do that?
yeah, they just need to reach out to us. They can give us a call or message us on our Facebook page. And we still have time to be able to get them on all the creative. So yeah, lots of time.
Perfect. And is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, just remind everybody, mark February 9th on your calendar.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And hopefully the 9th goes well. I know I'll be ordering pizza that day, so I'm sure there will be a bunch of very busy pizza places on the 9th. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
We continue our series on issues surrounding divorce and separation this week. Stacey Comer finds out about martial meditation.
Stephanie Dobson is back with us this week. Stephanie is a lawyer and mediator with Hankin Divorce Law and Mediation here in Lloydminster. Stephanie, thanks for joining us once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me as always, Stacey.
So, Stephanie, we are basically have kind of restarted the process of talking about preparing for separation and divorce. And continuing the theme, we had our first episode last week. So this week we're going to be talking about basically your specialty, which is mediation and marital mediation, obviously. So tell me, what exactly is marital mediation?
You know, I'm going to sort of diffuse this a little bit, because mediation as is a process. It's a negotiation process where a third party, a skilled third party, is helping people to resolve something. So that's generally what mediation is. And a lot of people will lump that into divorce mediation. So divorce mediation would be a third party mediator helping people to resolve the issues around their divorce. Now, if we take that and we say, what is the marital mediation? It's really, as it sounds, it's a way for a mediator, a third party, to help couples who actually want to stay married. So it's mediation to stay married. So families who are couples who might be having issues or disputes which needs to be resolved, and they want to actually either get their relationship back on track or keep it on track and even deepen it more.
So what are some of the topics then, Stephanie, that it could be discussed through marital mediation?
Well, just like any mediation, I tell every family I work with that we start everything with a blank slate. So mediation is for any topics that you may want to resolve. Now, there's some typical topics in a divorce, just like there's some typical topics in marital mediation. So it may be specific issues that are that the couple's having challenges with, or it might be some things that couples want to work out for the future. So, for example, you might have finances that you're having trouble with. One person's a saver and one's a spender, and how do we make sure that we meet both of what we're looking for? Or parenting issues, right? Maybe you're already parents and you're having trouble with, the dividing the roles of who does what, or maybe you're just about to be parents and you want to figure out how we're going to do that sort of going into the future, or even, how the household will run, or good old communication. Don't we all know that one of the main reasons that I find anyway that people separate is because of poor communication and ineffective communication. So we can help to boost that up and help you, or even, how assets and debts will be managed. So it's a wide scope.
Well, and kind of narrowing it down a bit, Stephanie, what could be the motivation behind a couple looking into marital mediation?
Well, in any relationship, there's always going to be issues or disputes which arise. We all know. If a couple recognizes that there's issues, sometimes people say, we want to give it one last try. We want to work through some things. We're not sure that we want to separate. We think we might want to separate. And let's give one more kick at it. Let's try to see how we can build something. And there's a lot of times there's a stigma there. I wish there wasn't such a stigma, but there seems to be a stigma around let's go to marriage counseling. And a lot of times people don't want to go to marriage counseling. And so, this is not counseling, but I use it sort of as what I call an alternative to counseling, where it's really just a third party to help teaching spouses or parents how to build that solid foundation, even going down below the tip of the iceberg into understanding kind of what's the root of your dispute and how can we help to avoid that in the future, or even creating some mutual understandings about how to build their relationship. At the end of the day, in marital mediation, what you come out with is a series of agreements, little agreements, big agreements, written agreements, maybe even just leave them verbal. But basically, it's how do we take these agreements and use them to get our relationship back on track.
Well, Stephanie, this is a really great thing, I think, for couples and maybe even couples who don't realize that it's available to them. So if they're looking for more information and want to get started in the process, how can they find that information?
So as always, head to our website. We have lots and lots of information on there. Under our services section of our website, excuse me, there's a tab for mediation, and within there we've got all of the information on marital mediation. Or, as always, really simple, call our office for more information. The number for that is 780-875-2234.
All right, Stephanie. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Some great information as always, and we'll chat with you again next week.
Thanks, Stacey.
The Lashburn High School annual Terra Miracle hockey game and silent auction is almost here.
Hello everyone, today I'm joined by Christina Schmidt, a teacher for Lashburn High School. And to start, can you explain what the annual Telemiracle hockey game and silent auction is?
So a previous teacher at Lashburn High School had originally started this, and I took it over a few years ago. Students and community members can pledge a minimum of $100 to play in the game. So we have usually quite a few students who will come out and play, as well as some of their parents or past LHS students that will come back and play the game. It's a fun, full hockey game. We usually do continuous time, but it's usually really fun for the kids playing against people younger or older than them and with their friends. So we split everyone into two teams. Depending on amount of players, we might split into more teams this year because we did have a really good turnout last year. And they go out there, they have fun. We've got volunteer refs, volunteers for doing the scorekeeping and everything like that. The silent auction side of it, we have lots of companies, lots local from Lloyd, Lashburn, Maidstone, that will come and donate a silent auction item. So we've got that going on our Facebook page right now. And as more donations come in, we'll keep adding things. So this year and last year so far, we have started the Facebook page for the auction. We'll open bidding up a few days before the game, and then we will allow people to pledge at the game as well, or to bid on the items as well there.
And can you give some background on what Telemiracle is?
Telemiracle is an annual fundraiser based in Saskatchewan that they go to all the money raised, and they do a telethon. I think it's end of February, beginning of March this year. Oh gosh, I don't want to say this right. I think it's a 30-hour telethon. They have live music and everything, but every year that money goes to Saskatchewan families in need for, like, if somebody needs to have a more accessible house, the money will go towards providing the ability to have a more accessible house, and lots of other things, but that's just the shortcut of it.
Are there any last points that you'd like to cover?
Come out if you can. It's a great event. It's a really good community event that brings everyone together. We'll not only have the hockey game and silent auction, but there's 50-50 raffle. The concession will be full swing, so lots of great food there as well. And come out and help us raise money for a good cause.
Thank you so much for taking the time, Christina. I really appreciate it.
Now let's look at your egg prices.